the little device, right? That will help you out. Okay, SOHCAHTOA. Even if you can't spell it, it's up on the board over there anyway. So, all right, let's go through. How does this help you out? All right, S for sine. It's spelled S-I-N-E, but it's when we do the abbreviation, it's S-I-N. It tells you the sine is equal to what side? What's O and H? Opposite side over the hypotenuse, correct? Which we said yesterday. Where's the hypotenuse? Don't tell me longest side. Always across from my 90-degree angle. All right, so there's sine. C for cosine, right? We abbreviate it COS. And again, I know in 10th grade you probably did this over a course of a week, but we got a day. All right, we got a day to review this. A for, that's the adjacent, correct, the side next to the angle here. So adjacent, and then H still means, I'm not going to write it in, hypotenuse. And then what about T? Tangent. We abbreviate it TAN when you write it down, but T, tangent. And that is O, opposite over adjacent. All right. So that's what we're going to use today. So can you guys go ahead and give me triangle ABC with those measurements on there for me? All right, give me those measurements. Angle C is the right angle. We talked yesterday, A and B can go anywhere. Before we start, let me just review why I can't use anything I taught you yesterday. We talked Pythag yesterday. Why isn't Pythag an option here? It's not doable. Why not? I'll do A squared plus B squared equals C squared, but what's going to happen? Why can't I use Pythag here? Why is that so bad?
Because C is the right angle.
Oh, already, watch. Here you go. If I do A, here you go, 20 squared. What are you going to put in now? I don't have anything to put in, right? Blank equals x squared. So Pythag doesn't work because I don't know everything about all three sides. Why isn't 45, 45, 90 going to work? It's 37. 30, 60, 90. It's not one of the triangles from yesterday. So everyone good. Can't use the darn thing from yesterday. All right, so now I got to go to SOHCAHTOA. So how do I figure out, again, which one of the three to use? I go to the angle I give you, the acute angle, the angle less than 90. Never the right angle. We always go from the angle less than 90. And you determine what the 20 and the x are. Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. All right, let's start with the 20. Is the 20 adjacent, opposite, or the hypotenuse to 37? Adjacent, right? And the other side, x. What is that? Now, I know you could say adjacent, but it's across from the right angle. Automatically makes it the hypotenuse. I do not label the missing side. That's just going to confuse us. All right, so I put a little a next to 20 because it's adjacent, h next to x because it's the hypotenuse. Go to SOHCAHTOA. What am I, out of these three, which one am I allowed to use if I have a and h? And now I'm going to start calling on people here. So if I have a and h up there, which one am I allowed to use? I have enough information to use what up here? Here we go, Stella. Cosine, good. So everyone, we're using cosine. Everyone good on why Stella picked that? We have adjacent and hypotenuse. All right, now time for the equation. I told you before we don't write the word cosine. We just do the abbreviation COS. So cosine of the angle we're working with, which is what? 37. Cosine of the angle equals, now keep going, adjacent over hypotenuse, which we've labeled already. So up top, 20, on the bottom, x. Okay, now you can try to solve that. All right, I'm going to NumWorks right now because I feel like if you guys get to this point, you shouldn't have to struggle with the solving. You should have it to do it for you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Some of you guys think you're fancy with it. You don't know yet what's coming up. Everybody have on the top left-hand corner RAD. That's telling you right now our calculator's in radians. But what was I in here? 37 degrees. So like your TI, I got to change it into degree mode. So how do I do that on the NumWorks? Go all the way down, scroll all the way down on this home screen to where you see settings. Everybody, it's the bottom right-hand corner. Go over to settings, enter, and then everyone see angle measure. First one on the list. It says you're in radians. Hit enter. I don't want to be in radians. I want to be in degrees. So I hit enter. And now everyone look at the top left-hand corner. It's telling me what it's in. Should be in degrees now. All good? Everybody in degree mode. Okay, so go back to the home screen. And we need to go solve an equation, so you know where that is. All right, we need to solve an equation. I'll clear that out from today. All right, so the equation we're solving, everyone see the cosine button right above 8. So cosine gives you a little parenthesis. What are we putting in the parentheses? 37. Okay, get out of the parentheses. Equals. Yep, close them, sorry. Yep. I don't know if it'll matter or not, but just in case. Equals. We know where the equals is with the pi. And now, what do we have? 20 over x? 20 divided by, and look at that beaut, just does it for you, over x. Everyone all right so far?
Yeah.
Okay, enter to highlight it. Go down to solve this equation, solve the equation. Okay, now it's asking for a minimum and a max. Now look, I'm gonna let you put in probably negative 1,000 to 1,000 because if you just leave it negative 10 to 10 and the answer is 25, it's not gonna show you. All right, so you got to give it a range here. So I just want to get totally ridiculous here, and let's just go so we don't have to worry about it. Negative 1,000 to 1,000. I'm hoping none of our answers are bigger or smaller than that. And now solve the equation, and look at that. Okay, so round it to the nearest tenth. What am I looking at? 25.0. Say that again, Mark.
Can you do that
without the NumWorks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to put this over 1, cross multiply.
That's what I did.
That's fine. Probably check your mode in your calculator. Are you in degree mode in your TI? Yeah, hit your mode button and make sure degrees highlighted. Yep, there you go. Now do it over and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Again, I don't care how you guys do this. My feeling though is if you've busted your butt to get to the equation, I don't want to see you get silly points off because you can't solve it. Okay, this right here, the equation, is enough for me to say you know what's going on. Okay, from there, mistakes happen. We all good? All right, moving on. Okay, find the exact value of tangent of A in simplest radical form. Okay, what do you know about tangent? Go back to SOHCAHTOA. What do you know about tangent? Opposite, and you don't have to put this, but I'm just showing you opposite over adjacent, right? All right, and we're doing what? Tangent of which angle? A, so everyone get your focus on angle A. What's now? O for opposite. What's opposite angle A? 5 over, now be careful, what's adjacent to angle A? Square root of 75, right? But now take a look. It says simplest radical form. I'm not allowed to leave a radical in the denominator. And plus 75 can be broken down. But you know what? I'm not interested in that. The calculator will do it for you. All right, go to calculations. There's no equation to solve here, so there's no reason to be in the solver. Go back to home. Go to calculation. And do 5, what was it? 5 over radical 75. So 5 over square root of 75. God, it does it for you. It'll simplify it for you. There it is, radical 3 over 3. I want you focused on the sine, cosine, tangent stuff. I don't want you focused on the solving. It's less things to worry about with that calculator. Any issues? Okay, let's keep trucking. Same thing now. Find the exact value of cosine and sine of A now on this triangle. Okay, tell me something. What do you know about cosine? There it is. What do we know about cosine? 12. Grant, what do you know about cosine?
Adjacent over hypotenuse.
Darn right, adjacent over hypotenuse. We're going to be using that the rest of the unit. Okay, who's up here? 7. Ariana, ready. What's adjacent to angle A? What side?
9.
Oh, I know you weren't here yesterday. Anything that's across from the right angle is automatically the hypotenuse. Okay, so what side's got to be adjacent now? Square root of 72, and I gave it away, but what's the hypotenuse? 9. And don't you dare try to get fancy and stud on me here. That's not 8. It's not radical 8. Just go to the darn calculator. All right, don't try to start getting fancy here on me. Radical 72 over 9. It'll simplify it for you. And what are we looking at there? 2 radical 2 over 3? Yeah, that's what your calculator should be giving you. Sine A. Tell me what you know about sine. Drew, what do you know about sine?
Opposite over hypotenuse.
Yep. All right, here we go. What's opposite and hypotenuse in this case? Isabel, what's the opposite? 3. And how about the hypotenuse? 9. You can type that in your calculator or reduce it on your own, right? No radicals there. That's what, 1/3? Questions? Good so far. All right, moving on. Oh boy, here we go. Find the shadow cast by a 12-foot lamp when the angle of elevation is 58 degrees. All right, can we just draw a right triangle? We know it's going to be a right triangle.
Yeah.
Let's draw it. You want to start drawing lampposts and stuff, feel free, but I'm not about that life. Okay. I just got to laugh. That's it. 10-foot lamppost. Where's the lamppost up here?
It's a left.
Lamppost. It's a lamppost. Vertical, right? 10, right? Okay. Don't worry about the 58 degrees. We go outside. Where is your shadow going to be? Where? On the ground, or will it be beaming off your forehead? Because if it's beaming off your forehead, I'll put it on the hypotenuse. And you let me know because you're a freak of nature. All right? I've never seen that with a shadow. Where's your shadow? On the ground. So this is what we're looking for with find the shadow, right? Now this part here, angle of elevation is 58 degrees. You have 2 spots to put it. Angle of elevation is always from the ground up. Think elevate your eyes, all right? Ground up. So the angle of elevation is always right here across from the right angle. I'm not going to get in any more detail. There it is. Okay, so you guys got to help me. Which one of the 3 am I allowed to use here? All right, go from the 58 degrees for me. Oh, again, Isabel, here we go. 58, what's the X? Darn right it is. And how about the 10? Good work. Done your job. I have adjacent and opposite. So out of the 3, Which one am I allowed to use here? Here we go, Max.
Tan.
Oh, first one today. Tan. What comes next? The degree measure, 58. Now, should I go x over 10 or 10 over x?
10 over.
Opposite 10 over adjacent x. And again, Marty mentioned doing it on the TI. You can cross multiply. You guys can go right to the numworks though and type that in over in the solver. Did I skip over one?
No.
No? Okay.
Why is the degrees have a line right?
Say that again.
It's like a line.
I just think that's a typo, user error on my part. And I actually don't have this answer, so I'm gonna have to rely on you guys here. Nearest tenth, what do we have?
6.2.
6.2 feet. Okay, good so far. We're just pretty much writing the equation and letting our calculator do the work. All right, we have angle of elevation, which is bottom up. Now there's depression, but there's a little change because I know some of you are going to think depression's just the other angle, but it's not. So stay with me here. Let's draw a right triangle. If you want to draw a lighthouse, go ahead. Where's the 190 going? Top of a lighthouse, 190 feet high. Thank you for using that big word, vertical. Instead of telling me straight line, because they're all straight. The angle of depression of a boat. Okay, I'll deal with that in a second. Find to the nearest foot the distance from the boat to the foot of the lighthouse. So where am I trying to find now? My two available sides. From the boat to the foot of the lighthouse. Foot meaning bottom of the lighthouse.
Bottom of the
Horizontal.
The horizontal one, thank you. Yep, because hey, there you go. There's your boat, bottom of your lighthouse.
That's a beautiful boat.
That's why I don't draw anything. Yep, that's why I don't draw anything. All right, ready? Depression. Now everyone's going to want to just put it right there, but it is not. When we talk angle of depression, that's actually not in the triangle. All right? So you're standing on top of the lighthouse looking at the boat. See this horizontal line here? And see the angle that it forms? That's the depression, 34 on the outside. Which means you can't use it. I can only use angles inside. So there's any way you can take that 34 and maybe find an angle. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Richie, what do you got?
90 minus 34.
Were you going to say that, Emma, or something different?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Okay, well, you can do 90 minus 34 and get that angle there. Which would be what? Okay, 56. Was anybody going to, because there is another way. I'm just going to shut my mouth. What's your deal?
I don't know if this is right, but wouldn't it be at the opposite? Wouldn't it just be 34?
If that's 34, this is going to be 34?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are correct. Yes.
Why would you do 90? I don't understand.
Yep, right, 90K, because remember, this is a vertical line and that's a horizontal line, so it forms a right angle there. So both those angles add to 90. Okay, that's why. Do you remember what those angles were called way back in the day? The two 34s? They are congruent because they're both 34, but alternate.
Alternate.
Yeah, let's go, kids. Alternate interior. Way to go. But I don't care what you do. I'm just going to stick with what Richie gave me first. And what's this angle again? 56. Thank you. All right. So go from the 56 now. What's the 190 and the X? 1-4. Isabel, on fire today. Yep, no problem. I'm going from the 56. So what would the X be? What side? Yep, and how about the buck 90? Yep. All right, so I have opposite and adjacent. Which one of the three am I allowed to use here today? 9. Harper?
Can you repeat the question?
Yep, I have opposite and adjacent. So out of the three, sine, cosine, tangent, I have enough information for if I have opposite and adjacent. Tangent, you got it. Tangent of, what am I going to put next here? 56. Opposite x over adjacent 190. And there I go to the calculator. Nearest foot, it says nearest foot.
She's just big brain, you know. No, yeah, it's 281. Well, it's 282, but. Wait, I don't think I did this right. What happened? Oh. This is so crazy.
And now you guys understand why I went ridiculous with the negative 1,000 to 1,000 range. Because if I only went 100 to negative 100, we'd calculate like, I don't have an answer for it. 282? No?
Yes.
I got 190, 10, 56.
Yes.
I got
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, it's the thing that
It's, yeah.
it's
What do we?
Yes.
So we got tan 56 equals x over 190.
$282.
281 point. You see, it's given. I know it's showing you what it's multiplying, but here's my about 281.6. Yeah. 281.6, right? And then it says to the nearest foot, so I round it to 282. Okay. Any issues here? Okay, I got one more for you, and then you're hopping right on the delta math. Oh boy. 20-foot pole that is leaning against the wall. Oh, where are we putting the 18 and the 20? I know we had an issue here. 20-foot pole, it leans against the wall. So it's automatically got to be like my ladder yesterday, which was the hypotenuse is 20. Against a wall reaches a point that's 18 feet above the ground. Not on the ground, above the ground. So where should I put this 18? Vertical. Whoa, first time today doing this. Find the nearest degree contained in the angle the pole makes with the ground. Which angle am I? Pole, ground, your feet are on it right now. Pole makes with the ground. Up top or down below here? Down, the elevation one there, right? All right, so this is the first time I've had you find an angle. Usually we're finding a side. Rules don't change. Rules don't change. I'm still going to go from this angle I'm finding. Tell me what 18 and 20 are now from that angle. Ones. Drew, what's the 18? What's the 20? Okay, you did your job. Good work. Now I got to figure out what do I use with O and H, right? 3 spot, Stella, O and H I can use. All right, everyone ready to set it up? Sine, S-I-N. S-I-N. What am I going to put next? Yeah, the angle, X, equals, what goes on top here? 18 over 20. And nothing's going to change. I'm going to go right to the solver. All right, let me see what it says here. Oh, that's because, all right, I know what's happening. Let me go back. Let's get rid of that. And sine X equals. No, it didn't ask for any of this for you guys, or no?
You did.
It did? What are you putting, the negative 1,000 to 1,000? Is that what you're putting in?
Yes.
Okay. You guys are going to know why. I don't have to explain it. Okay, ready? This is a what?
Right angle.
No. This is just a what? A triangle. Right? This is a triangle. I can't go over how much? Can't go over $1.80 here. Right? I can't go over 180 degrees with whatever my answer is here in the 90. Go back to your numworks. Obviously, I'm totally disregarding all the negatives. That's ridiculous. All right, for that angle to be the negative inside a right triangle. So if I put 115 there, is that going to make any sense? Why not? Because I added to the 90, I'm way over now. Okay, right? I'm way over 180. So there's only one answer that makes sense, and that's what? 64 degrees. Everyone good? All right, there's only one answer. What's up, Richie? Go ahead.
64 plus 90.
I still have stuff. I still have right? I still have enough left over for the third angle.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I just can't go over 180 in two angles already. Okay, so if we're going to use that, that's why. Okay, or you can go back at the beginning when it said what you want your answer to be between. Okay, narrow it down to 100 and between 100 and negative 100. Okay, so but again, there's only one answer that works here, and that's 64. All right. Okay, go ahead. Start the delta math tonight, right? Yep. Let's get a couple problems done. Try to get a couple problems done. Well, I'm here to help.